hear me?
Yep.
How many times I fucking warned you about this fucking light? Dumbass bitch, I hope you fucking break.
What'd you throw at me? Yep. What are you doing?
Your fucking lights on! You dumbass fucking... Let me see the fucking lights! Bitch! Thank you!
This incident occurred in August 2023, August 28th. The timestamp on the video is not quite accurate. It gave a different time, but the date was correct. So, let me give you a little backstory. And then I will share with you how the superpowers of a person with autism helps when they are physically attacked. The backstory is this. I routinely walk or jog about 3 miles every day. I used to take time, go out to a state park and, walk the trails, but I found that it took me an hour to get there and back, and, it was just easier to walk around the neighborhood. So that's what I do. And if it's hot in the summertime, a lot of times I will go out at night and walk, and when I walk, I will wear bicycle lights. I've got a hat that has a bicycle light on the back of it. You can see that in the video, and I've got another light, bicycle light I wear on a belt. Sometimes I wear it on my hat so I can see. So the idea is to see and be seen. And for some reason, this young woman, I think she was 19 at the time, didn't like my lights, didn't like my hat. Why? I got no idea. Well, I should say, ostensibly, she didn't like him. I don't know if that was the real reason. Maybe she just wanted to attack somebody. I don't really know. I shouldn't even speculate. No hypotheticals. Because I'm not a mind reader, and I'm going to let that go. All right, so I was out walking late at night, and there was a car behind me. And it was stopped, so I thought I was in the way, so I stepped to the side of the road, and I waited for the car to come by, and the car pulled up beside me, and it was that young woman. And she said, "I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you down," something like that. And then she pulled into a driveway that was right there. And I thought, well, that's kind of weird. When she got out of her car, and I asked her, what did you say? And she repeated it. "I'm going to run you over." She's obviously kind of mad. And then she got out of her car, stomped onto the porch to go into the house, and I asked her a third time, and she said something then about my lights waking up everybody in the neighborhood. And she said, what I said was, "I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you down." I don't know the exact words, but something to that effect. And so I went on my walk, and guess what? A few minutes later, just happened to be passed by a patrol vehicle. It was actually a pickup truck. And I flagged the guy down and I said, "Hey, somebody just threatened me. They said they're going to run me over." And the cop gave me his, took the details, gave me his email, gave me his text number. And so I gave him the details. She lived right there. She pulled right into her driveway. So I got her address and I got her license number. And then when I got home, I sent an email to the sheriff's department. So they were contacted 3 times. I thought there would be some intervention, and I don't know if they ever did anything about it or not. But a couple days later, I decided that, I wish I had recorded that, because it's going to be my word against hers. And if somebody says, "I'm going to run you over," chances are they're going to deny they ever said it. If they don't mind doing that, they don't mind lying. That's my opinion. So I went online, went to Amazon.com, and I bought a body cam. And by the way, you don't have to do that. I've got in my pocket, you can't see it, but I got a cell phone, and I've got these pockets so I can carry the cell phone in my pocket. I buy the shirts for that exact purpose, and I can turn on the camera on my cell phone. It's a body camera, but I thought I'd buy another body camera just to be doubly sure. So just in case she would say something again, I could record it, and this time I would prompt the police to do something. So I was out taking my walk, and I had two cameras. I had my body cam, and I had my cell phone camera. Both of them were running just in case she, or anybody for that matter. And typically, it's not uncommon for people to stop and talk when you're out walking at night. And a lot of times they would actually compliment my lights, like, thanks for making sure we could see you. And they just have a conversation. People, sometimes I don't know what they're doing out driving around at night. Probably wondering what I'm doing out walking around at night. So anyhow, I felt very, very safe and secure in that I would be able to record anybody who said anything to me that was, not proper. But instead of having her say she was going to run me over, she just flung a chunk of wood at me. It was actually, effectively, it was, a piece of wood, a chunk of wood, but actually it was one of these things you hang on your wall to put mail in. Had a nice handle on it, very convenient for throwing it. She threw it at me, knocked my hat off, hit me in the head, hit me here, and knocked my hat off. So I picked up the hat, picked up the piece of wood, the chunk of wood that she flung at me, and I was also carrying a barbell, or not a barbell, but a dumbbell, because I was doing hammer curls as I was walking. So my hands were full, so I went on walking and went a little further, and I heard her say, "I'm coming for you," and she came for me. That's that second part of the video. And she jumped out of her car, flung something at me again. I think it was like a Coke, in a plastic, or not a plastic bottle, but a paper cup, ice, something she flung at me. That seems to be her MO. And she grabbed my hat. Now, the whole time, I don't think she knew she was being video recorded. I don't know, but, I don't think she would have done it if she had known that. So I had two video cameras running the whole time. And you heard the profanity. She got in her car, drove back home, and when I got home, I told my wife, I got attacked. We called the cops, or called 911. And the 911 operator seemed shocked that I would say, "Hey, I just got attacked." Because, we live in one of those communities that almost never happens. So it wasn't long before, and when I say it wasn't long, I'm talking about a minute. A first responder showed up. This is a guy who lives down the street from me, and he showed up at the door, first responder, and it wasn't long before the cops showed up, the ambulance showed up. We had a full house. We had a lot of people. And, I didn't want to take the ambulance, but they said that my blood pressure was high, my heart rate was just off the charts, and they really wanted me to get in that ambulance. All right, I'll get in the ambulance. Yeah, they took me to the hospital, and the camera was recording this whole time. I never turned it off. So I've got like an hour from the time I left my house until the time I got to the hospital. And it was there that the police saw the video that you just saw. And so they had a description of the person. They had evidence. They took that to the prosecutor. They prosecuted the case. It was a 5th-degree felony, which she pled guilty, because what else are you going to do? It's on video, it's on recording. And she got out on bail. A few weeks later, like a month later, after this incident, she was arrested again for driving, guess what? 70 miles an hour in the middle of town. I think it was like a 35-mile-an-hour speed limit. This is the person who said, "I'm going to run you over." Do you think she would have run me over? I'm thinking, yeah, she probably would have. So cops caught her, and now she had a 6th-degree felony. So now she's got 2 felonies, and she had to plead guilt. Well, didn't have to, but she pled guilty to both of them. And she got, I don't know, like a 4-year prison sentence, but it was suspended, which is disappointing but not surprising, because this is a person 19 years old, and this is the first offense in which she got caught, actually the first and second. So the fact that she's going to be out, I think she's still in jail now, but she will be out shortly, and she'll have to wear one of those bracelets, for like 4 years, and protective order and all that's going on. So that is what happened. But again, perfect stranger. I got no idea why she did that. Have no idea. But I do know this. The night of the incident, the investigating officer came by like 3 or 4 in the morning because, they're investigating as soon as they can, and they went into her neighborhood and knocked on the neighbor's door, see if anybody heard anything, see if there was any more video. And the consensus seemed to be that, they're not surprised because they know this person. I didn't know she even existed, but apparently they know her and they weren't shocked at what happened. So that's what happened. All right, what do we take away from this? What does a person with autism, or I should say, how does a person with autism respond to such a thing? And I got 3 things, and here's what I learned, and here's what I did. Principle number 1, I've said this a lot of times in other videos, but that is stay in your lane. In other words, you do the right thing. You do the right thing. And number 2 is let the other person make the mistakes. You do what is right. Now, how do you do that? What is the superpower of the Asperger, of the person with autism, that allows them to do that? It's a superpower called flat effect. When I went into to the psychologist to have them evaluate me for autism, one of the things she noticed was I had flat effect. I didn't even know I had it, but looking back, I guess I do, because I don't get excited at ball games. I don't laugh easily. I do sometimes. Things just don't bother me. I have flat effect. A lot of people take advantage of that because they want to see how far they can push you. But in instances like that, you don't lose your cool. You don't fight back. And when I took Taekwondo, one of the things, I wasn't particularly good at it, but one of the things we learned is your first reaction should be to walk away. You don't engage a person, because the whole idea is not to get hurt. And the best way not to get hurt, you don't fight back if you have an option, and the option is to walk away. So that's what I did. I picked up, the quote, weapon, unquote, picked up my hat with the lights on it, picked up my dumbbell, and I just went on my way. Then she chased me down and grabbed my hat. And I guess the police went, I don't know what they said when they interviewed her, but somehow they got her to admit that she took the hat, and I think, which didn't matter because it was on video. But I don't know, but I think what they did is they asked her where she put it, because I'd like to have it back, and she said she threw it out the window. From what they told me, okay, she just admitted to stealing it. So, police use these little tricks. So flat effect, let the police handle it. Number 3 is, and there's 3 of these things, but number 3 is, record yourself. Record yourself. People think, I really overdo that. I don't think so. We've got video cameras around our house. I've got a dash cam in every car. I've got 2 body cams. I've got my, in addition to my cell phone camera, which I keep in my pocket. So if I go to Kroger's in the morning, I'll probably have it running. So those are the 3 things. Number 1, stay in your lane. Don't get blown off course because somebody else is being a jerk. Let them be the jerk and let the other person make the mistakes. You go ahead and stay in your flat effect. Sometimes that's really hard. It's really difficult to do. But try to blow off your steam some other way, because you will get yourself in trouble. So what if I said, here's an opportunity to use my Taekwondo, and kicked her in the head? Or what if I had used a firearm? Self-defense. It would have been a different story. But I just stayed in my lane. I let her make the mistakes. And apparently she hasn't learned yet. She's still making them, I guess. She got arrested a second time within weeks. Hopefully she's straightened out. You know, a young person, maybe that's possible, maybe not. I'm not a psychologist. I'll leave that up to them. And number 3, again, is record yourself. All right, so what would you have done? Do you think I did the right thing? Do you think I did the wrong thing? What do you think? Well, the whole idea of making videos is to teach so that at the end of the video you will have learned something, and I hope you did, that you didn't know when you started, and also when you come to the end of the video, you feel encouraged. You feel uplifted. You feel ready to take on the world with new vigor. Okay, that's a little corny, but still, I want you to feel good when you get to the end of the video. There's a green or blue dot in the lower right-hand corner. When you click on that, you join our YouTube family by subscribing, and then click the bell so you get downloads. Also, there is a rectangle in the lower left-hand screen that will allow you to access our video library. So you can just keep on watching as long as you want, because I think we got hundreds of them by now. And we'll see y'all next time.